It's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. Thank you so much for all of your support and your beautiful comments. I noticed a couple of people I haven't seen for a long time comment yesterday, so it was really nice to hear from you and know that you're still around. Before we go any further, I am going to be around over the break. The only days I'm not available for would be Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Day. So I'm off to see my family for Christmas just for a few days, and then I'll be coming back because I have commitments with uni now. So if you would like a reading with me, you can check out my website. I'm of the understanding the website is still visible. So you can have a look at readings, but if you'd like a reading with me, you need to email me at the moment at the Aussie Goddess, all one word, no numbers, no spaces, no misspelling, the Aussie Goddess at gmail.com. If you are interested in joining us for a membership or to join up, there are buttons underneath where you can go. If you get a deluxe membership, you can access all the videos I've done so far. And a big thank you, obviously, to all the members too for your support. And it's fine if you just want to support me by becoming a member. That's good too. Thank you. We are going to be doing the Sagittarius reading today after doing the What's Cracking reading. And I think that's pretty much everything. All right. Okay, so we're starting off today with the Empress. That's a beautiful start to the day. The Empress is a card that talks of, feeling like you are really connected to your universe or to your world. You're feeling whole and complete in yourself. She can sometimes talk about fertility. So if you're trying to fall pregnant, then this would be an awesome time. If you're not trying to fall pregnant, then it would be a little bit of a caution. There is definitely a feeling here that maybe you want to bring something forth. It may not necessarily be a baby. It might mean that you want to bring birth to or birth something new. That can be anything. So you've got an Ace of Wands here too. So something you feel very passionate about. The Ace of Wands represents a new beginning. And good time to do it when you have the Empress coming out. But sometimes this can be in relation to, a relationship. It can be in relation to a new beginning in business, but it can also represent that wanting a new start, maybe a change of how you're seeing your world. Maybe you just want to change your physical appearance, but there is something here that you want to change with the Ace of Wands. We do have the Four of Cups, so feeling here that maybe you're a little bored with the status quo, maybe you're ready to book a holiday, for example. But it definitely feels when the Four of Cups comes around that you're bored, you feel stuck, and it's time to sort of look for a new opportunity. And again, this is a great time when you get these cards coming through. All right, yeah, look at that, taking a leap of faith. I love the Fool card, leaving the past behind here. Oh, okay. Maybe you've got someone new coming into your life because the Emperor is here and it does feel like a person, possibly an Aries. There is something you are leaving behind. So possibly you're leaving something else behind because you want to start something new. Sometimes when we've sort of come out the other end of a relationship, we need that healing time, but then we know when we're ready for the next step. So maybe it's to do with that, but let's dig into the cards a little bit further. It's always good to sort of look at the readings in a little bit of a different way, but that's sort of the energy that's coming through. Feels like you're ready to start something new. And it could be you've got your eyes on someone or someone's about to step into your life and you feel ready now. Perhaps you haven't felt ready for a really long time. But this can also be, as I said, to do with a job, to do with a situation. Maybe you're just bored with the status quo completely and you're moving on. But for some of you, you might actually have made contact with somebody. All right, let's have a look. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you're getting your goods checked out here. Oh, that sounds really odd. I mean, I mean, you're checking out your own resources. Ten of Pentacles coming through. This is great. Look, with the Ace of Cups. Okay. So I feel like for some of you here, especially with this Strength card, I've been getting a lot of energy of this lately, and I think a lot of people are realizing that they need to heal things more now. You know, we're realizing that we don't come out scot-free. That's it. You know, we need to go back and have a look to see what it is we need to change. And there is a real feeling here of self-love. So I'm feeling here, even if this may be going out into the world and finding new love, there still is a real strong energy here, especially with this Ace of Cups and Strength card, that it may not necessarily be about finding someone else to love. It might be about the fact that you have built your own self-esteem and your own confidence. So whatever you're going towards here, it's like you've got yourself into a really good position now. And I feel like somehow now with the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, there's a real feeling of I can win at this, or I can do this, or, you know, it's time for me now. Absolutely, especially with that Queen of Pentacles sitting there. So you may be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You could be a Leo coming through here as well. All right, so we have the Three of Cups coming through with the Six of Wands. Victory card smack bang in the middle with the Nine of Pentacles. How much more sort of reassurance from the universe do you need? It's almost like the universe is saying to you, you've got this, you've got this. You're in a really good place. Whatever it is you're going to take on, you are ready to go. You don't need to wait. Your level of self-love is at a really good point. Your self-confidence and whatever else you need, you are ready to move into the world. There does seem to be some sort of celebration here. So it is possible here that you have reached a point where you need to get to. So you could have finished a degree, you could have finished a course, you could have the financial backing now that you've been waiting for. Because something feels like to me like you've sort of accrued things with this Queen of Pentacles. And it is about self-love and the work you've done here, absolutely. But it also makes me feel like that you've reached a milestone. So, you know, you may have said, when I've got this or when I'm in this position, then I'll go forth. Very good, coming through beautifully here. We have the High Priestess. Oh, look, with the beautiful Ace of Swords. You've got two aces in here, and we have the Judgment card. You may be going after something that you missed out on before. You may be going after something that you missed out on before, because even though the Judgment card sort of can talk about rebirth and redoing, there is a feeling here that you may have perhaps wanted something before and you couldn't get it. Especially with this sort of High Priestess and the Ace of Swords, because this is very much about standing in your truth, being true to who you are. Maybe before you didn't have the confidence nor the nous to get out there and say, actually, this is what I want, but now you have it. Now you have it. So you would be really feeling that inner energy calling to you now. So it could be because you have the Victory card underneath. It's actually a really, really beautiful reading. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the way I was reading before, but people complained all the time about they couldn't hear me. So, you know, it's sort of really hard to get the readings exactly right. But, you know, all the cards I have here are so significant. And I feel like somehow or another, especially because the Judgment card came out, you've got the Victory card in the middle, you've got the Ace of Swords, High Priestess overlapping it, you've got the Ace of Cups here, the Nine of Pentacles. So, and this, I said the Strength card, there seems to be this feeling that I've got it all together now. You know, when you finally get that last piece of the puzzle that you've been looking for, you know, you can sort of ramble through things thinking, you know, I'm satisfied with this, I'm satisfied with this. But this tells me that you've got to a point where you are no longer satisfied with what you have. You have three aces in this reading. So there's new beginnings all around you because you've chosen to move in this new direction. You have a brand new beginning with the Fool card, turning your back on the past and going towards something. And I feel like that Emperor is representing some sort of goal you've had in mind. It could be a person. It does represent the sign of Aries. But moreover, it sort of feels like that is what you're going after. And maybe it is because you've stepped into that, you know, power that you own. And that could be it too. But to me, it's like I can see. I can see the path to where I'm going now. I can see what I want in front of me. It's no longer an illusion for me. It's no longer the dream. I can actually see where I'm going. And I feel like because of that, you're making your mind up to take those steps to get yourself to the new place. And the only thing that seems really sort of different here, a different sort of energy, is this feeling that going after something that you didn't do in the past. So maybe you had an opportunity to go overseas and you couldn't afford it at the time, but now you can. Or there was somebody that you felt really strongly about in the past, and now you're understanding that maybe you can give it a go. Something here tells me that you are somehow doing something that you didn't have the opportunity to do before. You know, I often speak to women who are sort of, you know, quite sort of, I don't want to say old, wise, and in their later years. And if you ask people what they wanted to do when they were young, they very often they'll tell you. You know, I've had people say to me, you know, I wanted to, I don't know, be a chiropractor, a masseur, or whatever. And I think, why didn't you go for it? You know, people will make all sorts of excuses for why they didn't go for it. Don't make the excuses anymore. You know, if it's something that you wanted to do that you just couldn't do before, I feel like now you are absolutely 100% ready to go in that direction. So I feel like this week has had a lot of those readings. If this is a romance I'm talking about and something you missed out on in a romance, I would say to you, you're in a good place to go after it now. If it's really what you want, go get it. You know, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, at least you can satisfy yourself by saying, I tried. There are things that I feel as human beings we don't always think that we can do for whatever reason. But I think that whatever this is for you, you are so in the energy of being able to revisit something and pick up where you left off. Maybe you left off that university course. Maybe you didn't get that degree. Maybe you gave up for whatever reason. Whatever it is here, it's like the universe is saying to you, you've got the opportunity, go for it now. Don't wait any longer. All right, what is this? Epsilon modulation. Well, there you go. I don't remember reading this card before. You know, you can have these decks for a long time, constantly pull out cards and often get the same ones. And then sometimes you get a card and you think, I've never seen that one before. So, oh, straight to it. That was pretty good. I have no idea what this one's about. Gather your energies and go within to regenerate. Let your actions match your inner rhythms rather than trying to force yourself to keep pace with external cues. Commit to your own natural timing and pace. As you ground and connect to your center, that is so the Empress energy there, you will realize your spiritual power to be at cause in any situation of concern. You have such goodness and light within you. Let go of shaming or blaming. Embrace the spiritual beauty within. I feel like here Spirit is really giving you permission to go for something. I'm just going to, they talk about brain hurts. If you're interested in doing some meditation, or even if you're like me where you like to have sort of something playing when you're reading something or listening to something, 100 hertz they talk about here. So I try and listen to different sound waves or brain waves because I feel like they help me focus. But they're talking about 100 hertz. So extraordinary states of consciousness are accessed, including a pure awareness of the nature of being, the deepest levels of insight, and the regenerative bliss of spiritual emptiness. The oracle asks you to switch off and tune in. The greater perspective you find can bring you tremendous peace. You know, sometimes when you're listening to that music, it stimulates areas of the brain that have probably been a little bit sleepy. And sometimes you can start to see or hear or feel things. You know, when I was doing a lot of inner child work, I was trying to connect with the things I liked doing when I was a kid. And I found that extremely valuable because when you're a kid, you don't have those sort of energies, those hang-ups, those pitfalls. And for me, I loved being outside, which is something I don't do so much anymore. I loved swimming, I loved canoeing. I used to walk through the forest on my own all the time. I look back now and think, I'm glad I wasn't an episode of true crime. I loved rope swings and doing really adventurous things, and I loved it. My imagination was so pure then. And even when I played with the kids at school, and I wasn't the most popular kid, so I was a bit of a loner when it came to people, but I would go through the most amazing stories. And when I started to think back, I could remember a lot of those things, even though a lot of my memories have disappeared. These particular elements of me stayed really vivid. Um, but the one thing that I do remember a lot was I wanted to make friends. I wanted to have friends, but people seem to find me, and still do, a little strange, a little odd. I always say I'm a bit of a weird person, but that's fine. But interestingly enough, that's how I felt from the time I was a child. I always felt like I didn't quite fit. And I guess that's why I was sort of feeling like an alien on the wrong planet. But anyway, if you're finding it hard to go back to something, really good idea. Listen to those brain waves. They really do sort of stimulate parts of you that you've let sort of go to sleep. So, anyway, have an amazing weekend, and I will see you back on same back channel, same same back time on Monday. Thank you.